What's going on, YouTube? I mustache you a question. What's going on, YouTubulous? Baker Man coming at you today with a little bit of a rant. I'm upset, and you people are passing on horrible advice to people. Not you, but you, way back there. Yeah, you. I see you. I just wanted to come and bring you guys my little bit of an opinion, and I hope that you see the same way I do. If not, I'm very sure that you'll let me know. So, join me today about the whole better than nothing scenario.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
So earlier this morning, I was perusing through a couple of the Facebook pages that I'm members of, and there was one specific argument about 22LR. The specifics of this argument was an individual was saying that there was a female that wanted to carry concealed, but was scared to shoot 9mm or .380. And they emphasized on the scare that this particular female could not at all shoot a 9mm or .380, and they had to have 22LR, not even 22 Magnum. So of course people were going on about, throwing in different makes and models of guns and also suggestions of different calibers and what she should do. But the one comment that I saw the most is, well, at least it's better than nothing. That mentality will get somebody killed whenever they otherwise could have survived the situation. Let me explain. First of all, I want you to think back to every 22LR you've ever shot. Two common things that occur. One, the actual firearm itself does not operate reliably. Or number two, the ammunition itself doesn't operate reliably. I guess the point being is that rimfire ammunition should not be relied upon to save your life. And the whole idea that, well, at least it's better than nothing, will most definitely get somebody killed. Because whenever you need to rely on that ammunition or that firearm the most, Murphy's Law will take effect and it will not function properly and you will get killed. I don't know the specific statistics on the events that have occurred, but you can go back and watch pretty much any CCTV, hidden camera footage that you want, and in the event where the bad guy had a means of deadly force and the victim did not have a means to defend themselves, what happens? The victim ends up surviving. They walk away with a little bit lighter pocketbook or things missing out of their home or even their car stolen, but the majority of the time they walk away with their life. Now, if you take into consideration, let's see, there was just a few months ago, not that too long ago, there was an instance where a store owner did not carry one in the chamber. And that's a whole different topic here. But had he not have even pulled out his firearm, that individual would have robbed the store, got the money, and left. But the store owner pulled out his firearm, tried to rack one in the chamber. Well, whenever the robber saw this, he perceives a threat against his life now, so he's going to use any means necessary to protect his life, even though he's in the wrong, and self-defense laws do not apply in this situation. He still wants to go home or be alive in jail, one or the other. So he shot the store owner and then shot the son. So now you have two guys that are dead and one guy in prison over, I wouldn't say it's a malfunction, but a gun did not work the way the owner expected it to. Whereas if had he not have pulled that firearm, odds are that robber would have just taken the money and left and got caught at a later date, and dad and son would have both survived. Now, let's take that back and put your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter or your mother in a situation where they're getting robbed or they're being held at gunpoint or knife point, and now this individual produces a .22 caliber or any rimfire caliber firearm and it does not function correctly. 9 times out of 10, I would be willing to say that now your loved one is either hurt or worse, dead, because that robber now perceived a deadly threat against him and he's going to act upon it. The firearm or knife or whatever instrument that a bad guy normally uses, they just use them as an intimidation factor. And if you're going to rely on something that is incapable of reliably protecting your life, then something is not better than nothing. In the past and to this date, I do use an argument that completely contradicts with this theory, or at least it may seem that way. And the argument that I use is that capacity always trumps caliber. And the specific weapons that I use in this argument is the 30 rounds of .22 Magnum you get with the Kel-Tec PMR is always better than the 6 or 7 rounds of .45 you get in your standard 1911. And I still stand by that, but it is true. I would rather have the Kel-Tec over a 1911, even though it is rimfire ammunition, because if you have a 10% failure rate, I would still rather have the 27 rounds of .22 versus the one less round of the .45 caliber. Even if the .45 caliber 1911 doesn't malfunction at all, you've still got 3 times as much in the Kel-Tec PMR with 10 times more malfunctions. So there are specific situations like that, but I'm not going to get into that argument on this video. Bottom line is, I would not recommend trusting your life to rimfire ammunition. My specific advice for this situation would be to train that individual, that female, whoever she may be to you, to use a 9mm, at the least a 380. Even though 380 is inferior to 9mm, they do make rounds and guns small enough that it can be well concealed on a female. Let me dive a little bit deeper into this. In one hand, I have a Glock 22 40 caliber, holds 15 plus 1. In the other hand, I have my Taurus PT92, holds 17 9mm plus 1. So I've got 16 versus 18. I would pick this bad boy every day over this one. Why? Because of the 2 extra rounds. In my argument, the 17 plus 1 is better than the 15 plus 1. That's my argument on that. Now, in one hand I have my Taurus PT92, and in the other hand I have a Taser X26P. Everybody knows what these is. Everybody's seen an episode of Cops. In here is the prongs that shoot out 25, no, these are green, 35 feet to reach a suspect. This is inferior to this when it comes to protecting your life every single time. So you could say that the handgun is better than the Taser, of course. This is not something that you need to rely on to protect your life with whenever deadly force is justified. How many times have you seen an episode of Cops or a video where officers have deployed a Taser and it did not work? It was ineffective at incapacitating a subject. Probably a lot more than you've actually seen it work. In your argument with the .22 LR, applied to something like this, you would say this is better than nothing. At least you have a chance at saving your life. Well, I would really argue that. You want to take something that works maybe half the time, even go at best 75% of the time, and you want to trust your life to that? I wouldn't go with those odds. Because now that you've produced a threat to the bad guy, now they're going to react to that threat. And if what you have does not work when it needs to, you're going to be dead. I could apply this argument to high points as well. Even some of the older first generation Kel-Tecs were known for not working properly, just in general, cheap firearms that had bad quality control, and whenever you needed them to work the most, they would not work. You can even go back and look at some more expensive, top quality firearms, such as the UTS-15, remember the new 12 gauge that came out with 1 barrel and 2 tubes at the top, and you could switch between them. It was a competitor for the Kel-Tec KSG. Those things feed unreliably. Even the DPS-12, people couldn't get them to eject reliably. And whenever I come up and say, oh, that's better than nothing, no, it's not, because if you're sitting there fumbling with something that's not working, you're taking your eyes out of the fight, you've redistracted your attention somewhere else, and now you've set yourself up for a fail. In conclusion, I just want to say that the term better than nothing, could end up getting you hurt or killed, or someone you love hurt or killed. If there's a caliber that you feel like you're not comfortable shooting, don't downgrade to rimfire. I promise it's not going to be worth it. It does not have the pressures needed to reliably cycle a semi-automatic firearm each and every time. If you want to save money, don't go with cheaper firearms. Actually, save your money up until you can get a firearm that's of better quality. Please guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you agree with me, let me know. If you think I'm wrong, I'm open to criticism. Comment down below and let me know why. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I've got some firearms reviews coming up. That 92 that you just saw, that's a brand new gun to me, and I haven't even had a chance to shoot it yet. One day soon I'm going to be doing a breakdown of it, taking it out to the range, putting a couple hundred rounds through it, and letting you guys know what I think about it. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe day, and make sure you enjoy your weekend. Peace out.